Hi, I'm the new Ultra Pro deck box that not only holds your deck, but also the souls of your enemies. Ralph.
Hi, and I'm the brand new foil you just cracked open and immediately put into a sleeve. Jazz.
Double sleeved, even.
Yeah. And we're the
Alright.
Partner Commander podcast.
Yes, we are the partners, Jazz and Ralph, and we are here to talk to you about Commander, our favorite format. But in this week's episode, we are talking about the aesthetic.
This is part two of our aesthetics sort of series. Previous episode we talked about, the flavor, and then this one we're talking about the actual physicality of the cards.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to be talking about everything that isn't exactly the physical or mechanical parts of the actual magic card and just everything around it.
Although, okay, so this first topic that we're gonna bring up is about the extended art, magic cards, and also Secret Lair. Also, all the different stuff that they've thrown in, like invocations and masterpieces. I feel like it could have been in the flavor episode, but it also makes sense to be in this episode. So, I mean, just bear with us.
I mean, like flavor, is kind of something a little different. It's about like the storytelling and the writing within the card, and the treatments on these alternate cards are more like graphic elements or visual elements. So I think this fits in perfectly fine in this topic. But yeah, we have gotten a lot of these different card treatments over the past few years. Showcase frames, the masterpieces, and invocations, like you said. The extended art promos. There's been a whole bunch, and we're gonna just go through a few of them. Maybe pick out some favorites, discuss what we like, what we don't like. We're of course going to talk about the secret layers. You can't talk about card treatments without talking about the secret layers. But yeah, Jazz, do you have any particular showcase frames or special promo cards that you're a big fan of?
I really liked the Expedition lands from the Battle for Zendikar set that came out a good while ago.
Oh.
Most specifically, I really like Steam Vents, but that's because I'm an Izzet player, and so the Steam
Mm-hmm.
Vents art was really, really great. Did you like any of the Expedition lands?
I never really got much exposure to those just because I wasn't playing around that time. So the expeditions kind of just didn't weren't on my radar, and honestly, the fetch lands or and any of those stuff I haven't really thought about in terms of if I could have an expedition because it's just exorbitantly expensive. But some of the card treatments that I'm a huge fan of are the Ikoria showcase frames, the comic book style art illustrations that came with all of the mutate creatures. I thought were absolutely incredible. And it was the first time like they Wizards really brought up these kinds of show this specifically what they called showcase frames. But yeah, Kaldheim also has these showcase frames with that have a kind of a heavy metal album cover, Viking style frame and illustration, which as a premise I think is really really cool. I am enjoying a lot of the art that is coming out of it, but I think some of the art just it looks a little too. I just don't think it matches with the framing. It makes a lot of the illustrations are very busy and very monotone, so it makes it kind of hard to identify what the card is from a distance. And the frame takes up a lot of the space on the card, so I think that kind of detracts from these really cool illustrations that might have been kind of that that you would want a showcase frame to kind of highlight, like in Ikoria, the illustrations are they're the full thing of the card, aren't they? They're extended art, and they extend out into the frame, and they're these incredible comic book illustrations. And I just don't think Kaldheim has the same kind of oomph with that.
Well, other things that I really like about special card treatment, I'd say you could put it, would be the masterpieces in Kaladesh. I really loved the cycle of all the swords, especially Sword of Feast and Famine. I think they did a great job with that art. And I know kind of these are all very kind of like luxury items because they are very expensive. But we can still talk about them in an appreciative moment, even if you don't own any or I don't own any, and I don't think I'll ever own any. But I mean, maybe one day. I'd love to get a soul ring from the masterpieces.
Yeah.
Did you like any of the masterpieces from Kaladesh?
Not really. I don't really like the frame. Basically, is what it goes down to. Just like from a purely visual standpoint, like it's pretty and it's cool and it's on theme with with Kaladesh, but none of the cards really stood out to me. And also, I just like I don't really. Same with the expeditions. I don't really just they're not on my radar much because I never anticipate myself owning any.
So is it safe to assume that you also don't care for the Amonkhet invocations?
Yeah, no.
I also like the invocations from Amonkhet. Wasn't able to get any, but I really want a Locust God one because I have a Locust God deck, and I just feel like it would be really cool to bling that out with the invocation. I also have. I also really liked in War of the Spark where they did like the stained glass style planeswalkers. Those were really really cool, not just for our main cast but for everybody that was on War of the Spark. It seemed like a really interesting take into showing that art. You know, just to touch on Ikoria, I really liked. You so what were they called, or what were you talking about with
The
the mutate
the
creatures?
showcase frame. Each mutate creature
Yeah.
got the alternate art for it.
So the thing I liked about Ikoria was, although I did like the showcase frame, I really liked the kind of like collaboration with the Godzilla franchise.
Hmm.
I thought it was super cool that they kind of, it was a good way to show that this is a way to basically give creatures a quote unquote skin. And it just seemed like a really cool idea, which is slightly what I feel they should have done with The Walking Dead, but that's just neither here nor there.
Yeah, and springboarding off of that, Secret Lair has provided us with a lot of similar alternate art and frame styles for some of our classic cards throughout Magic's history. Jazz, were there any Secret Lair? Did you buy any Secret Layers? I know you got the slime one, but did you pick up any other ones?
Yeah, so I got the Prime Slime Secret Lair. The art was made by Wizard of Barge, and the second that I saw the art, I was like, I fell in love, and I had to have it. It was basically kind of like this '90s take, 90s cartoon sort of take on acidic slime, the mimeoplasm, necrotic ooze, scavenging ooze, and void slime. It had this very cool throwback feel. I know it was a little controversial because I mean, even within my own MTG discords that I'm on, a lot of people didn't like the art, but hey, that's their own opinion. I personally loved it. I love the bright neon colors. I love the take on it. It kind of reminded me of like Real Monsters from like Nickelodeon. And then my roommate actually bought me the Kaleidoscope Killers Secret Lair. This was 5 color legendaries, and it was the art was made by Justine Jones, and it was the Ur Dragon, Sliver Overlord, and the Reaper King. And the art of it is really really cool. I haven't used it yet, but I kind of intend to. And then one of the secret layers that I wasn't able to buy into, but I really really wanted, was Full Sleeves, the tattoo pack, and all of the art there was made by Josh Howard. The cards in this secret layer were Inkmoth Nexus, Pithing Needle, Eternal Witness, Blood Artist, and Spell Pierce. And it's all done in like the traditional American kind of tattoo style, which I'm a big fan of. I just love the tattoo culture in general, and I just also love the traditional American kind of style where it's these highly contrast set palettes of colors, and also just has a very distinct style to it. And I'm kind of upset that I didn't get to buy into that one.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that I've got a pickle with the secret layers, is that they're limited time products and that they monopolize on people's FOMO. So like if you see something that you really really want, you only have a very limited window to get it, and I just don't like that as a business practice. And yeah, I mean, like there have been dozens of secret layer. There were what? How many? 26 in 2020. I think that I didn't get any, mostly because I couldn't afford them. I didn't really have the money lying around to pick them up. As much as I really, really, really wanted to get the International Women's Day Secret Layer, but I just didn't have the money for it, which is unfortunate because like I do have a bit more cash now, and I would love to pick something like that up to treat myself, but I just don't have that opportunity, and they're probably way more expensive on the secondary market these days. So yeah, not a huge fan of Secret Lair overall, but I do appreciate the new kind of arts and styles that they bring to the game, and hopefully maybe they'll make some more accessible versions.
Well, I think, I mean, just to, as a bit of a counter argument to that, the only one that is really kind of a FOMO is the Walking Dead, because, like I said, they it would have been a great opportunity had they made the Walking Dead characters as skins of already existing creatures or characters in the Magic lore, but rather than creating completely new ones. These ones are just, you know, new art for old cards that already exist, so you don't really have to get them.
Well, no, there's no obligation to get
There's
them.
a cheaper alternative.
There is completely, but like I did want some of those secret layer cards for the art, but I felt the time constraints pressure like not, it wasn't, suitable for me and my circumstances. So, it's one of those situations where Watsy just turns around and says this product's not for you, and I guess the product isn't for me, but that's okay. Something else that when we're talking about, of course, we have to talk about the foiling, the foils, those lovely, lovely curly little cards that are meant to be premium products, but are actually, very poor quality. But also the new foiling style that we got in Commander Legends, which are the etched foils. Which do you know if those curl or not?
I haven't bought a single pack, so I would not know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the etch foils curl or not, but I do know that just by looking at them, the foiling is incredibly dark on a lot of cards, and it's actually it makes the cards look much much darker than their original and normal printings. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I like the idea, and some of them do look really really pretty and gorgeous. So like it's a mixed bag depending on what card you get. But yeah, if you do get foils, make sure to double sleeve them.
I mean, even double sleeving them, they sometimes doesn't even
Keep them
help.
keep them double sleeved in a
I
100 card deck under a pile of college textbooks.
like my feeling. I don't want to like be a negative Nancy too much, but it is a kind of a letdown that some of these cards can completely stand up straight up by themselves, which
Hmm.
typically shouldn't happen. Um,
Yeah, and it sucks because a lot of foil cards look really gorgeous when they are flat and functional game pieces. And like I would love to like foil out one of any of my commander decks like down the line, but I would have to contend with like some of the physical issues that the foil cards pose. I mean, there I do have the advantage of the card quality in Europe being a little bit better, so the foils here aren't as infamously terrible as they are across the pond. So speaking of sleeving cards and double sleeving your foils, card sleeves are another big part of the accessory culture of Magic the Gathering. People want to keep their cards clean and protected, and sleeves are the premier way to do it. And they're also a great way to showcase certain styles and art and colors and things that you just want to show off that might tie into your commander deck, might not. But uh, Jazz, do you have any particular favorites in terms of sleeves?
I mean, I only buy Dragon Shields.
Yeah, same.
I mean, like without speaking ill or negative of other brands, I've tried a lot of other sleeves from various ranges of their products, and I am most happy with Dragon Shield. I'm not going to say that they're like invincible because I have had like maybe one split on me, but I would take that one split versus the myriad of other card sleeves that have split on me. So, granted, I all my decks right now currently are sleeved in Dragon Shields, and out of the I'd say 20 decks that I have, one sleeve that's split, I'd say that's a pretty good ratio. Whereas I've had issues with other brands that split all the time.
Just say Ultra Pro.
I mean, I don't want to though.
I mean, like I think we like have you ever had have you sleeved any decks in like the Eclipse sleeves?
I did, and I've
Oh,
had a little bit of issues.
okay. Well, I mean, like, I can say from my own experience, I none of my Dragon Shield sleeves has split on me like ever. They're also my favorite brand, and I love the art that you can get on them. I've got one that is a dragon, but like painted into a Monet painting, which is really pretty. And you also in Europe you can make custom Dragon Shield sleeves, which I am very
Which
keen.
I'm so jealous about.
I know it's really cool, and I cannot wait to try it out. I might make some of my own original pieces to put on the back of cards, which would be really cool. And I love the quality of the sleeves; they're really great. But recently, I was ordering some singles online, and one of the sleeves that some of my cards came in were a pair of sleeves that came from Fantasy Flight Games, who are the game designers for Arkham Horror. So they have a bunch of Arkham Horror and Call of Cthulhu themed card sleeves, and I was like, "Whoa! I've never seen these before. These are so cool." So I am very keen to get my grubby little hands on a few of those because, as we all know, I am a little slut for Eldritch Horror, and yeah, I really really want to get a hold of these. They're a bit hard to track down, but hopefully I'm gonna find some that I can get posted to me.
I'm a minimalist when it comes to sleeves. I just want good quality, but I do like the matte sleeves that Dragon Shields have. Any of the matte sleeves, but specifically, these are my favorite colors that they've produced are lilac and mint. They are like beautiful, and if I could, I don't know. Maybe I would sleeve all my decks in like the same color, but that just seems a little overkill.
Yeah, I
But
don't think I
anyways,
could. Yeah, I don't think I could sleeve all my decks in this in one color. But it would make it very easy to like shift cards around and you would never have to like re-sleeve anything. So I guess I can see the benefits of that.
right.
Yeah.
Well, so on the topic of sleeving, what are your thoughts on double sleeves?
I like in a perfect world I would do it, but also I mean like now that my collection is getting a bit bigger and a bit more on the expensive side, I could see myself double sleeving a few of my decks, but I definitely don't think I would double sleeve all of them because most of my decks are pretty on the budget side of things, and I'm not particularly precious about them. Not that I don't like care about the cards or anything, just that they're I don't have a lot of foils in my decks. I don't have a lot of like special editions or judge promos or anything. So double sleeving for me seems like not a huge priority, and also like it makes your decks bigger and harder to store. So it has its pros and cons.
Yeah, like I totally understand why people double sleeve. I personally don't double sleeve. The only reason I don't do it is because I would rather like that expensive card, that beautiful foil. I would rather put it in a binder and then just print a proxy to put in my decks. Which
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
my decks have just printed proxies, and then I have a folder with the cards that they are based off of. I mean, we can totally have another episode just on proxies itself, and I know that that's kind of like a hot button topic right now
Hmm.
in the Magic the Gathering community. But my personal practice with proxies is that I have a proxy folder that has the actual card, and then I will like slot them into whatever decks I need. That's why none of my decks right now have like super crazy expensive cards in them because I don't. It's just my own personal philosophy. Like I don't want to just like toss in a card if I don't own it. But anyways,
I'm
that's why I don't
perfectly
double sleeve,
I'm perfectly happy to toss in cards I don't own. I'm very poor, so I'm happy to try some stuff
which is
out.
fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
like whatever people want to do, if that's how This is a completely other topic about boxing,
Hmm.
but also, anyways, just to get kind of back onto topic about sleeves, I just don't. I also don't like how bulky they are. Like double sleeving makes your
Yeah.
decks super huge. It's already hard to fucking shuffle 100 cards.
Yeah, for sure.
It's yeah.
Something else. I mean, like to kind of not exactly bring it back to proxying, but altar sleeves are something that have become pretty popular in recently, and they're just card sleeves that have things printed on the clear side, so that when you sleeve a card in them, there's like a frame that's an overlay, or maybe it's extended art. I've seen
Oh yeah,
some,
yeah, yeah. Those are
yeah,
super cool.
yeah, I've seen some really cool ones. So altar sleeves, if you want to sponsor us, we're here. XOXO. But yeah, how do you feel about people playing without sleeves?
I mean, I personally would cringe, but you do you, boo.
Isn't it is not playing with sleeves cringe?
It's
Are
a
we gonna
little
count?
like, oh, you wild,
Yeah.
you out here just like riffle shuffling
Oh,
with your cards. If
yeah.
that's what you want to do, sweetie, that's on you.
It's like
But
seeing somebody like walking naked in public. Like there's nothing wrong with it, but then they're also like, oh, your feet are gonna get real dirty.
right, like
Yeah,
I'm already picturing just like the sides of the cards getting really like just like beat
yeah.
up
Like
and
the very first cards that I ever got, like back in my kitchen table Magic days, like those are rough. Like the edges of those are like fuzzy. It's nasty, and I'm sure and like they're and though that's only from maybe like 10 years ago. Like
you
they're
know what though? Like
mm,
just from an aesthetic like point of view, that's such a flex. That'd be such a flex to have a really nice deck, not even just a jank deck, but like a good deck, no sleeves, out there raw dogging it on your playmat. Like
right in front of
they
my
don't give a
salad.
fuck, and they're going to like ruin you with their Eldrazi or whatever they're playing, and it's just no sleeves. That's such a flex. I'd be like,
That is
okay,
that's big deck energy right there.
big deck energy.
Mm-hmm.
And like you can see all the cards and they're beat the hell up. Some of them
Yeah.
might be crinkled. I'm slightly
Oof.
tempted to do this now.
Ooh. Oh, please don't. But um, but on that topic, actually, something that we didn't really talk about when we were talking about card treatments is that Magic cards haven't always had the same frame. Vintage cards had their like the original Magic cards have their own distinct framing. So like a lot of people actually do have a very big soft spot in their hearts for the vintage frames for Magic cards, and frankly, I see where they're coming from because I really love the vintage frames as well.
No, that's a hard pass for me. I do not like the older cards.
Reject modernity, embrace tradition, Jazz.
Mm. I mean, I know I was just talking about how I love like traditional American tattoos, but I really do not like how some of the older cards looked. I didn't like how they had. No, no.
You okay there?
Like especially the gold cards or like multicolored cards and like that
Oh,
weird gold color that they
it
used.
wasn't.
It
Oh,
was
that was not gold. That was like beige. That was like a
oh,
yellow.
and then old artifacts. Really, are you into that? I'm
Oh,
not.
I actually like the old artifacts because because like that was the that was brown mana. That was the original vintage shit. Like if you were playing a Tron deck, like your deck was brown.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Well, can't please them all. But also something, but
It looks like poop.
maybe okay. Well, what about white border sleeve cards?
I'm okay with white border. So I have a bit of a soft spot into white border cards just because I learned to play Magic during 7th edition. And I distinctly, so if we're going to talk about no sleeves here, I distinctly remember learning Magic the Gathering when I went to, drumroll please, band camp when I was 10, and the one of like my bunkmates was, I don't know where he was from, but he was just this guy who was playing Magic the Gathering, and I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" And so that's how I got into playing Magic the Gathering. And I remember all the white border cards. I remember Volcanic Hammer. I remember, God, who's the goblin on on like a goblin with a parasail, the thing that makes you fly. It was a flying goblin. It was a flying goblin.
Oh, I know
Um,
exactly what you're talking about because I also played that card around M10, like
right.
when I got into playing. What was it
I
called?
don't remember the
Goblin
card name right
Sky.
now at the
It was
top
like
of my head.
Goblin Sky Raider or something.
Something like that. But I
Yeah.
just remember like
Oh, wait, Goblin
that's
Balloon
where I learned to
Brigade.
play. So I kind of what?
Goblin Balloon Brigade.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I think there's a card called Goblin Balloon Brigade. I could be completely wrong. Yeah, but also when we're talking about white border cards, we also need to give a shout out to John Avon because some of the basic lands that are like have the most iconic and beautiful art are white bordered cards from 8th and ninth
Oh, for
edition.
sure.
That like one of my playmats that we're going to talk about later is a John Avon Forest card, and I've got a few of my basics that are put aside that are from that time, and they're absolutely stunning, stunning.
So yeah, I mean, so just to go back to the topic, I do like white border. I would never make a deck completely white border because I don't think there's a big enough card pool for it.
Just draw,
But
just alter the cards to be white border,
yeah,
white out.
um, but yeah, I don't have an. I know people like it's a testy subject, but for me, it's kind of like a point of nostalgia. Learning Magic the Gathering in between band rehearsals.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute. But yeah, so once you got your deck sleeved up, once you've got your cards, that you're gonna want to put it in some boxes. So,
Hold on, before we move on,
oh,
just like I keep thinking about the non-sleeved deck, and
the
the
raw,
thing is,
the raw dogged deck.
the raw dog deck. Like the thing is, sleeves just kind of make things easier to shuffle,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
like you can mash shuffle with sleeves on. It's so much harder to do that with your raw dog deck.
Mm-hmm.
And please, just please put. I know I was like, ooh, I kind of want to do this, but I don't. So just like to the viewer out there, to the listeners and the viewers out there, please sleeve your cards. I don't care if they're double sleeved. Just sleeve your cards.
Hell, you could triple sleeve them.
And I mean,
I don't think that's a thing, but
actually, I think that like in order to be tournament legal, I think they have to be sleeved because you could easily mark a card
oh,
if
completely.
they're not sleeved.
Yeah. And also like some sleeves are slightly transparent at the back and you could still make out the mana symbol and whatever. Like you can see the back
Mm-hmm.
of the card. So like sleeves are an important element for tournament play. But yeah, we don't really have a lot of exposure to those environments really as
Yeah, I play Magic for fun.
filthy casuals.
CEDH who? I don't know her.
I would consider CEDH still kind of casual because it's still commander.
Sure.
But that's
Okay, anyways, deck boxes. What do you use?
I use whatever the hell I can get my hands on.
Okay, that's fair.
I have three. I've got deck boxes from three different brands in my shoebox right now. Like I've got an Ultra Pro one. I've got the clear Dragon Shield one. I've got two pink Ultimate Guard boulders, which I'm quite fond of. I actually have them split apart, so I've got them just for the bottoms, so they hold four decks instead of two, because I cannot afford like 10 or 15 deck boxes for all of my decks.
Dear Ultimate Guard, please sponsor us so we
Please
can get this
sponsor
poor
us.
boy some deck boxes for his decks. This they them.
Yeah,
Yes. My mistake.
please.
Personally, I use Ultimate Guard for all my deck boxes. I had like the kind of slightly opaque looking boxes in various colors, and I was gonna do like each color of the rainbow because I'm hashtag gay. But I kind of got tired of that, and instead I have adopted the clear, just the clear boulders, which are amazing. But for whatever reason, can we just have? I don't. Okay, like for whatever reason, there's like they're out of stock everywhere. I guess I'm not the only one that has this want for the Ultimate Guard clear boulders, but apparently everyone else is on the same bandwagon, and it is like the Hunger Games to try and freaking find any.
Dang,
That's just my little tirade for the moment.
that's
But I'm
rough,
just
buddy.
saying,
Yeah, something.
right?
Yeah,
Like, well, okay. The only reason that I like the clear ones is because you can clearly see the commander through the box without having to open it up, which
true,
is a
true.
slight issue with the other ones because they're kind of opaque. Like you can kind of make it out, but if it's kind of the same matching color, then but that's rough. But like right now, I'm looking at my decks and I can see all that they are just through their deck boxes, which I love.
Something that I have encountered with the Ultimate Guard boulders, like the colored ones, is that the matte finish on them actually starts to peel off at the corners, which I'm not a huge fan of. Um,
Oh, really? I haven't
yeah,
had that issue yet.
that's but you have like the Ultimate Guard long case for them, don't you?
Yeah, I use the archive to when I'm traveling or
Y-
like when I'm transporting them around.
Yeah, I have everything in a shoebox, so that's probably why.
Yeah, that could be an issue.
Yeah, can somebody recommend some premium shoeboxes for me to get from my Magic cards? I'm fiending for some new shoeboxes.
I mean, if you use a shoebox and just kind of like line it with foam,
Yeah,
I'm sure it'd be fine.
yeah, no, yeah. Um, so something else people use are the like baseball cards boxes where they're like just the long plain cardboard ones, which I think they're simple, they're efficient. They're not,
Totally functional.
yeah, they're not as robust as like hard plastic or anything, but they'll last you a good while if you're careful with them.
I have some friends that have like custom made, like they what's that brand? The D&D brand that uses Wormwood. They have
Wormwood,
Wormwood has deck boxes,
they
and
do.
I know people. Look, if I had the budget, I would totally Wormwood my shit out, but I don't. But yeah,
Try
like
explaining
they
that
have.
to aliens who come to Earth. I'm gonna wormwood my shit out.
Well, I mean, it's like really high quality. Seems good. I actually bought a dice box from them, which I'm expecting anytime soon now because I kickstarted that.
Ooh,
Anyways, Wormwood.
yeah. But there's also a suite of custom artisans on Etsy and whatever who can make, custom made wooden deck boxes or anything like that.
Oh, for
And
sure.
yeah, there's a big
I've seen
mark.
like the leather ones. They look freaking badass. I've seen
Ooh,
ones that
yeah.
look like Morellonomicons, or not Morellonomicons. That's from League of Legends.
The Necronomicon.
Necronomicons.
What the fuck is
Yeah,
a Morellonomicon?
it's an item in League of Legends. It's-
Okay, I don't perceive it. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a gamer.
Okay, sorry. I don't play games, so I can't relate to that.
Mm. Yeah, but there are like tons of cool options that I've seen with deck boxes. Although, like for me personally, when someone like rolls, like okay, in the before times when we were like still able to go to card shops and play in person, I know it's super shallow of me, but like I kind of would have this preconceived notion of the player in front of me, like depending on how they presented themselves with their gear. If their
Oh,
cards are
completely.
sleeved, if their cards are double sleeved. If their cards are double sleeved, I'm already thinking, oh, this person means business.
Or
If
if
their
I'm like,
cards are like, or like if they're in really nice, cases or really nice deck boxes, and not just like your rinky dink like I know Ultra Pro has really nice deck boxes, like the really tall ones, and then they have like little slots for your dice and stuff. If I see someone like rocking that shit, I already have an idea of what kind of player they are. But if they're using like the kind of pre-release dinky plastic Ultra Pro deck boxes that are kind of ramshackle at best, I also already have a kind of an idea about them.
well, yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, I
like
could be wrong.
the
I could be
way,
totally wrong about these prejudices,
I
but
mean, like the
like
way you kit out your deck is similar to the way that you dress yourself. It's gonna tell a story. It's gonna like show certain aspects of yourself and your personality to the people around you. So, the way that you style your decks will, inform the people around you about the kind of person that you are. I
but
mean,
I mean, I've also encountered people that have, kind of gone to the nines with, styling up their decks, and they're garbage. They're just playing like garbage cards.
well, yeah, like don't judge a book by its cover, like, which is that's the rule. So, you
So
know,
to speak.
yeah, I mean, like you can only infer so much from the surface level stuff, which is,
I'm just saying,
very
though, I'm
philosophical.
not saying that you need to bling out your decks. I'm not saying that you need to buy the most expensive sleeves. But from my personal experience of playing against other people, if they use high quality sleeves, they're usually a quote unquote good player.
Yeah, well, something that I keep a very keen eye out for when I'm meeting people at the LGS back in the before times were the playmats that they rolled up
Oh, yeah.
with.
Okay,
So,
yeah. Your choice of playmat says so much about you.
oh yeah, completely. Like I've seen people with like, so something that I'm always very jealous of are like the GP playmats and like the promo playmats from like actual
Oh, I
events that
love the
people
Pro Tour
physically.
playmats.
Yeah, so I'm like, whenever I see them, I go starry eyed and I'm like, wow, you're a real person. Like they went to a real
Yeah, but
magic
then
event.
and then you see that one person with like the anime titties playmat
Oh yeah,
and their waifu.
yeah. I'm like, nice.
I
It's
just have to kind of just smile and let it go. I'm just like, okay, sure.
Yeah, those are a choice, definitely. But but between those two extremes, there are a bevy of different types of playmats you can get with art from MTG and from other games, or just general art pieces from artists that you like. I know that Seb McKinnon is doing a Kickstarter his secret lair to for his secret lair art to be put on playmats, which I am personally very excited about. There's also playmats from content creators that you really enjoy. Um,
Yeah, I actually kickstarted the Command Zone
yeah, their epic
one
play playmat.
with
Yeah,
Yes Rising.
Yes, we stand Jesper icing in this house.
and I'm
Um,
very excited to get that playmat soon.
oh yeah.
Uh,
Is it
what
is it
playmats
almost done?
are you using right now? Actually.
Oh, so my basically only playmat at the minute is my John Avon Forest playmat. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have another playmat which is from Mitch at the Commander's Quarters. He did a Kickstarter that I backed it quite a while ago. I don't use it that much anymore. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I am looking for new playmats to pick up at the minute, and I'm the problem with backing Kickstarters for myself is that getting playmats shipped to Europe from the US because most of them are US content creators or artists means that there's going to be a big fat import tax on them. So if
Mm-hmm.
I back like if I do like a $40 pledge to a Kickstarter, I'm going to have to pay shipping on top of it and then also another like $20 on import tax, which
Mm-hmm.
is not a fun feeling. So I'm gonna start looking a bit, maybe a bit more locally for playmats that I'm interested in.
So we may or may not have spoken ill about Ultra Pro sleeves, but I personally love Ultra Pro playmats.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I mean like
they're
they have the licensing for a lot of the Magic card art.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
that's their
and
prem.
my personal favorites to use are the shocklands. I like the simplicity of playing on a land, quote unquote,
Oh, that is
and
cute. I like that.
that way you're kind of it's still pretty, something pretty to look at, but it's not distracting. It's not anime titties,
Somebody
you
needs to
know.
start
This
making Bara playmats though.
right? Can
Yeah,
we? Can
it
we?
it's equality.
It's equality.
Yeah. Um. Yeah.
But I have the hollowed fountain. I have the breeding pool, and I think
You mean the gay bar in Ravnica?
yes, exactly.
Oh wow. You have. I hope
Those
you
are the
wash
two
it
that I like to
regularly.
use the most. I also have this one that has like Soren Markov and some other vampires on it. It was from one of the GPs, I think, or one of the Pro Tours. I'm not sure. It was a gift from a friend,
Love
but
it.
I use that kind of as like as a mouse pad right now.
Yeah, no, my John Avon Forest thing is, I mean, like because we're doing spell table and like online play a lot, like my playmat is already on my desk as a mouse pad, so you know it actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. But yeah, those are playmats. I think are personally one of my favorite elements of like Magic accessories. But yeah, another part of the Magic card collector's suite of accessories are binders and folders for your cards. Jazz personally gifted me a really lovely Battle for Zendikar binder that has Gideon and someone else on it. I can't remember who it is, but yeah, it's a big folder that I use most of the time. I also have a really, really, really old Ultra Pro binder back from when I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, which it's a bit smaller and thinner, which I use to store my more valuable cards.
Yeah, I just use an Ultra Pro one. I don't know. There's not a ton for me to discuss with. I mean, like I said earlier, I have my trades binder, and then I have my proxy binder, and my proxy binder is just like a small, tiny, like
A two by
only
two.
yeah,
Yeah.
that from Ultra Pro, kind of handy. And then my trades binder is one of the bigger Ultra Pros. It has like I think it has Ulamog on it.
Oh yeah, it does. I remember it.
Yeah.
So something that I'm actually on the lookout for is a ring binder folder with this where you can move the sleeves or the pages around because as somebody who is very organized and anal about their filing system for their rares and trades and stuff, I like to keep everything really organized and being able to move the pages around would be really useful. So yeah,
Hmm.
I'm on the lookout for one of those as well.
You know, another cool Ultra Pro product that I like using is they were tokens. They were like,
The relic tokens.
was that what they're called?
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Yeah, the relic tokens, and then like they had a dial where you could like denote the power and toughness, or at least that was their initial
Yeah,
their initial goal was to be their power toughness. But I use it as my life counter because it can withstand a bump on the table where your dice can roll and
yeah,
change your
yeah,
life total.
yeah. They're very durable, hard plastic stuff, and like I said, it's not gonna roll over like a lot of people use spin down life counters, like the dice, which I am not a fan of because I feel like that's an abuse of a d20. It's not even randomized, so I hate seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're fine. So, but dice are also a big accessory for Magic players as well. I think, don't you?
Oh yeah, I mean I have like multiple sets of those like Chessex D6s.
Yeah, I haven't actually gotten a big thing of Chessex D6s yet. Actually, I just use the D6s from my Dungeons and Dragons dice. But anybody who plays D&D knows that the dice addiction is real. So if you play that,
Mm-hmm.
you're already got a leg in on the Magic community because we all need more dice.
I mean, I specifically have the little tiny D6s for counters and stuff, but I've also used like little, like decorative pebbles that you can get at like craft stores.
Oh yeah,
Um,
my cousin, my two cousins and their dad use those for counting life. They'll have like the blue ones are 5 life and the gray ones are
oh,
1 life. You know, like
oh,
they're
that's interesting.
yeah. I mean, like they do really traditional kitchen table stuff. So like it's a lot more casual and they only do like 20 life and 60 card decks. So obviously it makes it
Oh,
much easier.
I was just using them as like bounty counters for Cheville, like non-numeric counters. I was using
Yeah,
those.
yeah. No, I could definitely see those for like divinity counters and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
Infinite Tokens have recently actually made dry erase counters as well. I know that
Oh, really?
yeah, they're actually really cool if you're for like the ability counters and stuff that all came out in Ikoria.
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk about the Infinite Tokens because you bought that for me for my birthday. Thank
I
you, babe.
did, I did.
And I haven't gotten the chance to use them yet, but I am very excited to use them because I have a slight mutate deck, and it's kind of necessary if you're cloning your mutations.
Yeah, and I mean you're so excited about Orvar the All Form, you're definitely gonna need Infinite Tokens for that kind of deck.
Oh my god, yes I do.
You should just put Orvar in the mutate deck.
But I want to make an wait.
He would work really well in a mutate deck though, wouldn't he?
He would.
Boom, breakthrough. You're
Okay,
welcome.
well I need to get two Orvars then. Just one for my mutate deck and then one for an Orvar deck because I do want to build mono blue Orvar.
Well, I cracked an Orvar in the pre-release pack that I've pledged to you because I'm definitely not going to build him.
Why are you too good for Orvar? Are you too good for the Tentacly boy?
No, I think he's too good for me.
Oh.
He's out of my league. But also, I'm not a mono blue player.
Oh. You say that, but you could be.
I could be. As much as I love the tentacles, I'm gonna have to pass on him.
Is there anything else that we need to talk about?
Damn, I don't know.
Um, Shout out to my cousin that got me this like wood printed life counter.
Oh
Unfortunately,
yeah,
it's only like from 20 to 0, but still, shout out to you, Alex. That was really cool.
yeah, that actually was really cool. Like that could like again, Etsy is gonna be like a really great place if you want to find some really cool and unique accessories for Magic. So definitely check out there and also support independent creators. You know, Ultra Pro is cool and all, but you know, there are other creators out there that could definitely use your money. But something
Oh, for sure.
yeah, another brand that I'm actually really uh eager to try out their products is Quiver. They make big boxes for the like the big long boxes for decks and stuff. And they look really good. And
Wait, what?
wait, what?
What is this quiver? I've never heard of them.
You haven't heard of Quiver?
No.
Damn, this would be a great time to like roll into a sponsor thing. But no, Quiver are just a really good deck storage thingy. I think they also do boxes.
Look at this. We're just like promoting so many brands that could just
Right?
like.
We are out here. Good.
I mean, like
Call
we
us
said
shills in
though,
the comments.
we're not sponsored by any of these brands,
We're not.
so these are like kind of our honest opinions about them.
Yes, very much so. So, but yeah, Jazz, is there any kind of like showcase frame or art style or secret layer even that you might want to see like in the future? I'm almost positive we are going to be seeing a lot more secret layers than we have in the past year or two from Wizards of the Coast in 2021. So, is there anything in particular you're looking out for?
Um, can we get okay? This is super niche, super niche. But can we get secret layer Drawfee?
Yes, Secret Lair Drawfee, where it's just their cards where they draw the cards from memory.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are
or
brilliant.
like just based off the description or based off the name,
Oh,
because
so good.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to get too into it because there might be people in our audience that don't know what Drawfee is, but you should totally look them up. They're content creators, they're artists, and they've done Magic the Gathering content. And if they did a Secret Lair, oh my god, it would be hilarious
That would be really
and
funny.
amazing.
Yeah, we are
And especially
Drawfee
like not
stands.
just their art, but like they would do like I would want them to do like the borders too, like imagining the card.
Yeah, completely. Is there any? Is there?
What about you?
For me, I would love to see a Mike Mignola's Secret Lair. That is the
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing I would get. I love his art style and I love the Hellboy comics. So anything like that would be really amazing. Or even if they just did like showcase frames in that art style. But yeah, I think something else that would be super cool would be like in terms maybe if we're talking about like IP crossovers, like because Wizard said they're gonna be doing more of them. Personally, I would love to see a Buffy the Vampire Slayer crossover. That
Okay,
yeah,
that could be cool.
yeah, that would be really cool. I mean, like if there were like I'm still not sure how I feel about the IP crossovers in general, but we're gonna get them, so might as well indulge some fantasies. So, um, but what
And
if the
also, so
what if
we know that Seth MacKinnon is doing his Secret Lair. I want a Johannes Voss one.
ooh, that would be so cool. I if we're just talking about like artists that we would want secret layers for, personally, I would absolutely adore to see Paul Scott Canavan do some secret layers, or even Jason Rainville.
Mm-hmm.
His art promo for Ristic Study is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, there's a whole load of and also if a lot of those artists do sell playmats and artist proofs and stuff independently, so if you want to go support them personally, absolutely, I encourage you to do
Oh
so.
my god, I'm blanking, but there's a website where you can buy like legit um, playmats of the like that support the artists that do the card art. I can't remember the freaking name of it right now.
I haven't heard of that.
Okay, it's original. Okay, so I found it. It's originalmagicart.store, and they have it. They partnered up with Magic the Gathering and the artists, and it's not Ultra Pro. Obviously, it's their own thing, but it's legit. You know, you're not getting like some counterfeit back alley sort of playmat. You are supporting the artist in for what they have. Um, who were the artists that you liked?
I mentioned Paul Scott Canavan, Jason Rainville, but I also a big fan of Magali Villeneuve. She's done a lot of really amazing female MTG characters. She's also the artist for Jorn, God of Winter, whomst we thirst for.
Did you say Jason Rainville?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the artists here. You can buy one of his products.
Oh damn, this website's amazing. I need to. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at this.
Oh, but no Johannes Voss, unfortunately.
Ooh, the day's playmat for the invocation is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and they have the Desolation Angel. Oh, it's one of my favorite pieces of art. Okay, damn. Damn. I'm so glad that I discovered this website exists. Thank you, babe.
You are welcome. I mean,
Okay.
they are the prices um
Uh,
a little steep,
and I'm gonna have to pay import tax on all of these. I hate it here.
but if you really want to bling out your deck and really want to bling out your basic playstyle, some nice things to have.
Yeah, absolutely. And also on like, don't feel like you need to spend hundreds and hundreds of bucks on magic
Oh, of
accessories.
course.
If you just show up with some sleeves and whatever playmat your LGS is supplying, remember to buy from your LGS if you can. Nobody's gonna judge you. We're all here to just play Magic and have fun. So this episode has mostly just been talking about the stuff that we like about it. We're not setting any rules or anything, and we just want everyone to have a good time and enjoy looking at the cards that they're playing.
Yeah, but I might judge you, me personally. But that's just because,
Jazz
like,
will judge you, but he judges everybody, so it's okay.
yeah. But I won't judge you harshly. Like, you do you.
Yeah, you do you.
Just, just leave your decks.
Yeah,
You
just
don't
leave your
need.
decks. It,
That's all you need.
the bare
If you show
minimum.
up in a night in a shoebox, all your cards in a shoebox, but they're all sleeved, that's fine with me.
Yeah, but keep your shoe
Just leave your
boxes at
decks,
home.
please.
Shoe boxes are valid. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us at PartnerPod on Twitter. That's PARN. I can't spell. PARTNERPOD.
You did it.
I did it. I'm literate. We did it, guys. Who said gays can't read? And you can find me, Ralph, at Ralph Does Magic. I'm not going to spell that for you. Jazz, where can they find you on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter at Jazzworth, JAZZWORTH.
Yes, and you can listen to our podcast at many places where podcasts can be found. You can find us on YouTube as well at the Partner Commanders podcast. Please feel free to like and subscribe. But yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for stopping by, guys. Hope we were fun to, listen to. Rant and rave.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Ciao.
Bye.